Every core belief you hold is a physical structure in your brain, as real as a scar. You can't just think it away because it's hardware, but you can build new hardware right next to it. This video shows you the blueprint the brain uses to turn a repeated thought into a biological fact. The process that built your current beliefs is running right now, silently, reinforcing the person you are, whether you want it to or not. Your brain has an energy budget. It's incredibly expensive to run, consuming about 20% of your daily calories just to maintain itself. Because of this, it has developed a primary directive: be as efficient as possible. This drive for efficiency is the foundation of your belief system. When you encounter a new idea, your brain has to work hard to analyze it, compare it to existing knowledge, and decide if it's valid. This is metabolically costly. An old idea, one you've heard 100 times, is different. It's familiar, the brain processes it with almost no effort. This ease of processing is called cognitive fluency, and your brain mistakes this feeling of ease for a feeling of truth. It's a shortcut. A thought that is easy to think feels more correct than a thought that requires effort. This is why advertising slogans and political sound bites are repeated endlessly. The goal is to wear a groove of familiarity into your mind. A statement heard once is an opinion. Heard 100 times, it starts to feel like a fact. The brain, seeking the path of least resistance, prefers the familiar groove. It takes less energy. So familiarity feels true. We see this in marketing and politics every single day. But how does that feeling become a conviction? A core identity? For that to happen, the brain has to start pouring concrete. In the late 1940s, a psychologist named Donald Hebb proposed a theory that has become a cornerstone of neuroscience. His idea was simple. Neurons that fire together, wire together. Imagine every thought you have is a spark traveling between brain cells. The first time you have a specific thought, like "I am not good at public speaking," a unique set of neurons fires in a specific sequence. The connection is weak. It's like walking through a tall field of grass, creating a faint trail. The next day, you have the same thought again. The same neurons fire. The trail becomes a little clearer. Repeat this thought every day for a year. That faint trail is now a well-worn path. Repeat it for a decade. The path is now a paved road. After 20 years, it's a 6-lane superhighway. The electrical signal for "I am not good at public speaking" travels down this highway instantly, effortlessly. This process has a physical component called myelination. With each repetition, a fatty substance called myelin wraps around the connection between the neurons. Myelin acts like insulation on a wire. It makes the signal travel faster and prevents it from leaking out. A heavily myelinated neural pathway is the physical embodiment of a deeply held belief. It is a biological structure, an anatomical fact. This explains the physical architecture of a belief. But it leaves out the most important question. Who gives the construction order? What signal tells the brain that this specific path is worth paving into a superhighway, while thousands of others are left as dirt trails? Your brain is, above all else, a prediction machine. Its primary job is to create a model of the world and then constantly check reality against that model. When reality matches your model, your brain gives you a small reward. This reward is a burst of the neurotransmitter dopamine. It's a quiet chemical confirmation that says, "Your map is accurate. Good job." We usually associate dopamine with major pleasures, but this is a much more subtle, constant process. You believe your friend will answer the phone when you call. They do. You get a tiny, almost unnoticeable hit of dopamine. Your prediction was correct. You believe the floor will support your weight when you take a step. It does. Dopamine. You believe you're awkward in social situations. You go to a party, say something clumsy, and feel a wave of embarrassment. Beneath that embarrassment is a quiet chemical whisper from your brain. Prediction confirmed. This system reinforces your existing model of the world. Every time one of your beliefs correctly predicts an outcome, the neural highway for that belief gets a little bit of maintenance, a little more pavement. The connection gets stronger, your map of reality is validated, and your brain rewards you for it. This constant, low-level reward system powerfully reinforces our existing map of the world. It keeps our current beliefs locked in place. So how could a new belief ever form? How do you convince the brain to ignore a perfectly good superhighway and start taking a treacherous, unpaved back road? It requires a form of voluntary sabotage. You cannot think your way into a new belief. The existing neural highways are too efficient. Any attempt to simply think I am confident when you have a 20-year superhighway for I am not confident will fail. The new thought is a faint trail in the grass. The old one is automatic. The brain needs a different kind of input. It needs evidence. The most powerful evidence you can give it is your own behavior. Behavioral psychologists call this self-perception theory. The idea is that we don't act based on our beliefs. Instead, we infer our beliefs from observing our own actions. Your brain is watching you. Always. Every action you take is a piece of data. Let's say you want to believe you're a writer. Telling yourself, I am a writer, does very little. The neural pathway is weak. But if you sit down and write for 15 minutes, you have just performed an action. You have generated a piece of behavioral evidence. Your brain, the silent observer, makes a note. This person writes. It's a single vote. The next day, you do it again. Another vote. The first few votes feel fraudulent. Your mind screams that you're an imposter. That feeling of cognitive dissonance is the friction between your old superhighway and the new path you're trying to clear. But the brain is a simple accountant. It just counts the votes. Keep casting those votes, day after day. The new neural pathway for I am a writer starts to get more traffic. Neurons fire together. They begin to wire together. The path gets clearer. The myelination process begins. After 100 votes, 100 days of writing for 15 minutes, something critical happens. A tipping point is reached. The brain's prediction machine begins to update its model of you. It starts to identify you as a writer. And once that happens, a powerful ally joins your side. Confirmation bias. Your brain will now actively scan your environment for evidence that confirms your new identity. It will notice opportunities to write. It will pay more attention to conversations about writing. It will filter reality through the lens of I am a writer, because its job is to prove its own model correct. You build the new belief through action, vote by vote, until it becomes the new default. The new highway gets all the traffic. What happens to the old one? The old neural pathways don't get dynamited. They simply get neglected. In neuroscience, this is called synaptic pruning. The brain operates on a use it or lose it principle, and this is literal. When a neural pathway goes unused, the connections between the neurons weaken. The myelin sheath can thin out. The superhighway slowly degrades back into a paved road, then a dirt path, and eventually it becomes overgrown. The belief tied to that pathway, like I am not good at public speaking, loses its automatic, reflexive power. It becomes less fluent, harder to access. It feels less true because the signal is weaker. But the path is still there. This is crucial. Under conditions of extreme stress, exhaustion, or illness, the brain conserves energy by defaulting to its oldest, most established pathways. An old fear or a long-abandoned habit can suddenly reappear. The overgrown path is still the easiest shortcut when the brain is running on empty. It's a ghost in the machine, a remnant of a previous version of you. The person you are today is the direct result of the pathways you use the most. Your personality is the sum of your practiced thoughts and repeated behaviors. The grooves worn into your mind dictate the flow of your life. Belief is a biological process. It's a function of traffic flow in your brain, and you are the traffic director. The old path never truly vanishes. It just gets overgrown. Every day you choose which path to walk, which one to clear with your actions, and which one to let the forest reclaim.